Welcome to the Raven Space on YouTube. My name is Jason, and this is Raven Space Mailbag, where we answer your questions about the Baltimore Ravens. And this is the Patreon episode where the questions are supposed to be exclusively Patreon questions. However, I made a mistake and I forgot to issue it out. I thought I did. I did not. So I'm sorry, Patreon subscribers. So I'm going to make it a regular mailbag. I don't want to deprive you guys of your regularly scheduled content. So we're still going to do a mailbag. Patreon subscribers, if you want to get your question on this show that happens on Saturday, the regular mailbag still happens on Mondays, but this Saturday mailbag is only for Patreon questions if I get enough. So please go to Patreon, give me a question when I put up the prompt. It's going to say, hey, you have a question for the mailbag, throw it down, and you're guaranteed a spot on the show or next show. We do 4 questions, but your question is guaranteed to be answered. So, first I want to say please subscribe to Raven Space on YouTube for the best Baltimore Ravens content on the internet. Thanks for watching. And now we're going to go to the first question of the day. And it comes from Isaiah Hammond. And he asks, can you talk about Kenneth Dixon? I can talk about Kenneth Dixon, Isaiah. So, you guys don't know, Kenneth Dixon will be in his 3rd year, I believe, as a NFL running back. Was drafted in the 5th round by the Baltimore Ravens. His rookie year was the 2nd running back on the team behind Terrence West and performed very, very well. Showed that he had the building blocks to be an NFL running back. But that's as far as I'm going to go. A lot of you guys think he can be a starter. He did not show that. I know you guys love him. He did not show that he could start in the NFL. He did show he belonged in the NFL. There's a difference. I think Alex Collins this year showed he should be a starter in the NFL. Now, the issue with Kenneth Dixon is not the talent, because I think he has enough talent to be an NFL player, to be a good 2nd running back. The issue is that he is a knucklehead. And, you know, I don't like calling players a knucklehead, because most players are regular people. They make mistakes. This man got suspended again while he was already suspended. That is something that happened. That is a fact. What is, you know, a person like me who is not rich, right? Who works a regular job, you know, 9-to-5 job. I look at Ken Dixon, I say, man, what are you doing? You have the opportunity of a lifetime, and you're just kind of letting it slip through your hands. He knows he's a running back. He knows he's a running back. But when you're a running back, you have to understand. You have to understand that you have a short shelf life. He doesn't understand that. And if you can't understand that, I don't think his talent warrants us as Ravens fans praising him like he's one of the best. Now, Kenneth Dixon has the boom, right? When I say the boom, the man, he can take hits and keep on running. He has the raw strength as a young player that you expect to see out of a running back coming out. But can he elevate his game? Right now, it's a crowded backfield. The Ravens have at least 5 running backs right now, like right this second, that if they were on the team, I would not be upset. Alex Collins is definitely on the team. Buck Allen better be on the team. So now you have 3 for the last spot. The Ravens usually only carry 3 running backs. So now you have 3 potential running backs for that last spot. Danny Woodhead, Terrence West, Ken Dixon. Danny Woodhead is a potential to be a cap casualty, so I'm putting him on the outside looking in. Terrence West or Ken Dixon, this is the question. And I don't want to say this because I know a lot of you guys enjoy running backs. Maybe you guys were running backs when you played football. Maybe you're a running back now, you're a kid, you're a running back, that's what you want to be. Being a running back is a dime a dozen position in the NFL. Every year, a new exciting running back pops up from the, you know, 3rd round, 2nd round, whatever, that you just don't see coming. Running backs have short shelf lives, okay? It's a reason that the Steelers don't want to pay Le'Veon Bell. There's a reason that the best running back doesn't win championships. There is, you know, the best quarterback has a chance. I'll tell you who the best running backs in the NFL are right now. Le'Veon Bell, no championship. LaShawn McCoy, no championship. Todd Gurley, no championship. If you guys see where I'm going. And so when you value a running back that's at best a second string running back, it's not good for your team. Now, can he make plays being a spell running back? Yes, I do believe he can. Has he earned it? No. I know he had a good first season. He did not play in his first season better than Terrence West. Sorry. He did not play in his first season better than Alex Collins played this year or better than Buck Allen played this year. So in my opinion, he does not deserve to beat those two out. Now, can he beat out Terrence West for that third spot? Yes. Is Terrence West a knucklehead? No. So you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what is he a good locker room guy? He has to have something other than being a third running back in order for me to be a fan of him. And so I think that he's a okay running back. He is a serviceable second string running back. However, he's not a great receiver. He has some skills. He's not a great receiver. Is a bad blocker. He is not good at blocking. He was so bad at blocking last year that the Ravens used Kyle Juszczyk in third down situations. And so what do you get from this guy other than a good third option? So I know a lot of you guys like him. Go ahead, yell at me in the comments below. Say what you want to say. It's just that when you combine the knucklehead nature of him and the fact that at best he's going to be the third running back on the team, I would say, you know, go take a chance on Terrence West. Use another 5th round pick and go get another young guy and give him a chance. We had Taquan Mizell, who was a better receiving back than he was, than Dixon was. Go find another Taquan Mizell. Do something. Because I don't think right now he warrants you to, you know, have faith in him as a running back and a player in this league at the highest level. So sorry if I was a little down. The guy can play. He can break tackles. Has decent speed. Wasn't better than Terrence West in my opinion when he was playing. And I don't think he'll be better than the other two running backs that I named this year. So, but he's serviceable. Serviceable. Now we're going to go to the next question from Brandon Kuntz. And his question is, what do you believe would be the best possible way for this offseason to go? I'm talking realistically. As in who we let go of, who we draft, and who we get in free agency. Just want your opinion. Thank you so much for your question, Brandon. And I'm going to give you the honest truth. And we're going to go in a little bit of depth. I'm trying to be quick because the last mailbag was like 19 minutes. I'm not doing that for this mailbag. I know you guys not going to stay through 19 minutes of mailbag. I know. So, and the stats say it. So you guys can say it in the comments, but the stats say that you will not. So let's start with who we release. Mike Wallace has to go. If he wants number one receiver money, Jerry Maclin should be a cap casualty. I think Danny Woodhead should be a cap casualty. I'm thinking about Brandon Carr. That's why I took a breath. I like Brandon Carr. I think you keep Brandon Carr because Ravens have injury issues. And then you can trade Brandon Carr later if you don't like him. For maybe, whatever. But Brandon Carr, after this season anyway, his contract is really easy to let go of. So not a big deal. Not a big deal. Now, so those who you think you should get rid of, who you should keep: Ryan Jensen, keep him. Brent Irving, keep him. Find a way to keep those players. Try to convince Mike Wallace to take second receiver money. His contract right now, I think, is $8 million, $9 million a year. Convince him to get $5 million, and we can start talking. Because right now, he's a great second option. I mean, he was a great second option, but he's not a good first option right now for a team that really is struggling. So try to get him down. Again, James Hurst. You'll be surprised. I don't like James Hurst as a player, to be honest. He provides depth. Get him on a cheap contract. I'll be fine with that. Get Austin Howard on the cheap contract. I think, well, actually, he's on for 2 years. So keep Austin Howard. I think he's a serviceable player and can come off the bench if needed. If you can't get another tackle in the draft. So you know, that's how I would handle our free agents. Now, going out to get other free agents, now this is the guy you have on the screen, Jarvis Landry. Go get that young man. That will give you so much flexibility in the draft. If you get Jarvis Landry, he's a great slot receiver. You basically shore up the middle of your team because he's so good in the slot. A place that the Ravens receivers have struggled since Steve Smith and Anquan Bolden aren't on the team. And actually, they even struggled when Steve Smith was in his last year because he was old, right? So go get Jarvis Landry. And the man can catch also. So now, in my opinion, if you can convince Mike Wallace, let's just say you can, then you have Wallace, Landry, and Moore, Perryman. I think that's good for receiving. I really do think so. But let's say you don't get Mike Wallace. You don't get Mike Wallace to sign a cheaper contract, then maybe you try to go get another serviceable receiver. You try to get a player like Josh Gordon, who's, you know, a great player. So, not a great player, a good player on a cheap contract, right? So then you have to shore up your receivers and free agency, I think, because it gives you flexibility. You can't shore up your offensive line in free agency because the good players just aren't there for the right price. Now let's go for the draft. There's plenty of offensive tackles the Ravens will be able to take at 16. Take an offensive tackle at 16. Find out, you know, where you think he'll fit best. If you need to put him at left guard to replace Alex Lewis, do that. If you need to put him at right tackle, do that as well. Whatever you need to do. That will shore up your offensive line and give you, in my opinion, without injuries, a starting caliber offensive line. And I would be happy with that. Second round, go get a receiver or a tight end. Those are the only two choices. In my opinion, in the first round, you only have two choices. Receiver, offensive lineman. The second round, you only have two choices. Receiver, tight end. Third round, it starts to open up a little bit. You can do what you want. But I do think the positions of need that need to be addressed are offensive line, receiver, tight end. If you address those players and you give Ravens fans hope at those positions, you know, and if you get better at those positions, then you have a chance. Defensively, I'm not worried about that. There are no big players leaving. So you're gonna be a top 5, top 10 defense. And that's good enough. Honestly, it is good enough. Your offense needs to get better. If your offense can get better, then you have a real shot at this thing. I don't know. I'm not going to try to predict trades because I don't know. But that's how I'll see this, right? Clear cap space, try to make some plays, and then go and attack free agency to get a good receiver, and then in the draft, go get some receivers, go get an offensive lineman, and go get some tight ends. So, and maybe go get a running back in like the 6th round, 7th round. Take a flyer on a young cat that has some ability, because I really do think he can compete for that 3rd spot with Buck Allen and Terrence West. So, thank you so much for your question. I hope I answered it in a concise and clear way. But, you know, if I didn't, let me know, and I'll try to address you in the comments. Thank you so much. Now we're going to go to the next question from Andre Green, and I kind of spoiled it a little bit. And he says, "Hey, what's up, bro? I love this show. Now, look, Josh Gordon don't want to be with the Browns no more. So, you think we should get him?" Thank you so much for your question, Andre. Now, this might be a cop-out answer to you if the price is right. Okay? And this is an example of the opposite of a Ken Dixon. Okay? Josh Gordon also has been a knucklehead. Okay? Maybe the king of the knuckleheads. Okay? But his talent level and his potential vastly, I'm getting serious with you guys. Please look in my eyes. Vastly outweighs that of Ken Dixon. So, you go get this young man, and let's say, because I don't think if you have Mike Wallace, you don't need him, right? because again, you want to give Perryman one more chance because you drafted him so high. You got to give him one more chance. Chris Moore came on strong, so you got to give him a chance. And Chris Moore is actually right now with Campanero becoming a free agent and probably will not be re-signed. Chris Moore's probably the only return option, so he's going to be on the team. You cannot go and overpay for Josh Gordon. He is not a number 1 receiver. He's a number 2, number 3 receiver. If you can get him for number 2 receiver money, he definitely won't take number 3 receiver money. But if you can get him for number 2 receiver money, then you give it a chance. You roll that dice. You bet it on the house. Any other gambling sling you want to use, you bet it all on black. You do whatever you got to do to get this guy, because at the worst, he's a guy that can get you 3 catches a game, 4 catches a game as a number 3 receiver. At the best, he can be a high value number 2 receiver. So I would say if you can get him for number 2 receiver money, you take that chance. He can definitely give you more production because his potential is so high. He can definitely give you more production than Macklin and Perryman gave you combined last year. So I would say you take the cat. Again, the knucklehead radar is like off the charts right now, but the potential radar is also high with this player. So, and again, big, tall red zone threat. Joe Flacco hasn't had a red zone threat in a long time. So go get him and you might have a chance. And this is the last question of the day. It comes from BTD Entertainment. And he says, so you're saying the defense played well against Chicago, Jacksonville, and Tennessee? And I think this was in reference to an episode that I did where I said that, the defense let us down in big spots, but they played well for, the majority of the season. And I thought that, to be honest, BTD Entertainment, I thought you left your chin open on this one as a figure of speech. You walked right into this. Your head was not on the swivel. Because you named 3 games in a 16-game season. And the two of the teams that you mentioned are playoff teams. Now, I know that the AFC is weaker, but you mentioned Jacksonville, who, put up 45 on the Steelers. The Steelers are the second best team in the AFC. And they put up 45, right? So let's take that off, right? And they were a good team. And also the Ravens offense turned the ball over a lot and gave them short field position. So that's one. So I don't think you have an argument for that one. Second, Tennessee, again, a playoff team. They won the games they had to win. And that's just the bottom line. They won the games they had to win. And also, the offense played bad in that one as well. Gave short field. Lastly, Chicago, you have a little bit more point on Chicago. I'm not going to say that Chicago's off base, because that's not. Jacksonville's off base. I love you, but Jacksonville's off base. But Chicago's not off base. However, they scored 27 points that game. Needed to go into overtime, where they scored, I think, the game game-winning touchdown, if I remember correctly, because I think it was 21-21. They scored 6 points to make it 27-21, I believe. So it took 5 quarters to get it done. If you remember correctly, one of their touchdowns was on an interception return. So they didn't score 27 points themselves. They scored take away 7 points from their 26. They scored 19 points. And then also they had short field on another one of their touchdowns. So you could honestly say that the Ravens offense is responsible for 14 of their 27 points, which would mean that their offense only, really beat the Ravens defense for about 13 of their points. So if you're telling me that if the Ravens offense didn't give them short field, that they scored 13 points in 5 quarters, I'll take that. Now, was it a perfect game? No. Are the Ravens defense perfect? No. But you named 3 teams. 2 teams are playoff teams. And the Tennessee Titans really didn't kill the Ravens defense really in that game. The Bears was really set up by a bad Ravens offense, and Jacksonville's a good team. Jacksonville, in my opinion, is the 3rd best team in the AFC. Your argument falls through a little bit. I will say that big spots they did not play well, but overall they played well. They were one of the best defenses in the league, and you can go ahead and blame the Ravens defense for the 4 times they didn't play well, but I'm going to blame the Ravens offense, right? Don't be, you don't want to be the guy, right, that says, man, my girlfriend doesn't, make me feel comfortable, and, the relationship, she yells at me a lot. And then you ask the girl, why do you yell at him a lot? And she says, the guy cheated on me 4 times. Whoa, the guy didn't tell us that, right? That's what happened, right? We're blaming the Ravens defense for yelling, for being bad for 3 times. But the Ravens offense has done drastically worse things that, we're ignoring because the last 4 games of the season, when they did play worse teams, they could, they did okay, right? So let's not go there. The reason that we did not make the playoffs is not because of the girlfriend who yells. It's because the boyfriend that cheats, and that in that case is the Ravens offense. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe to Ravens Space on YouTube. Patreon. Sorry about that. Patreon subscribers, please go to your Patreon page and go put your question in the mailbag part so I can put it on the show. Thank you guys so much, and go Ravens.